And a jury says Alex Rios murdered 2 homeless men. The cuffs were slapped onto his wrist before a judge even finished reading the verdict. News 13's Lizzie Mitri has been following this case. She is live outside District Court. Lizzie?
Dean, after a week in court, the victim's family walked down these courthouse steps today, finally knowing the jury's decision. While Rios' attorney still claims his client is not guilty, he also says he's not surprised. Family of 20-year-old Alex Rios stormed out after hearing the verdict.
They took off, obviously to deal with it in private.
Before that, the crowded courtroom was quiet this afternoon. Rios walked in, shook hands with his attorney, then...
Please stand for the jury.
He listened.
State of New Mexico versus Alex Rios.
The most severe charges, first-degree murder carrying life sentences.
We find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder, is charged as an included offense in count 1.
Rios was handcuffed as a judge still read the verdict, guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder for beating Key Thompson and Allison Gorman to death after getting drunk at a party about a year and a half ago. And that guilty verdict kept coming.
We find the defendant guilty of battery, is charged in count 23.
Guilty of more than 20 charges, including armed robbery and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
We got justice for the victims and their families today, and so I think it was a good outcome.
Rios' attorney disagrees, saying Rios just stood by as his friends, Nathaniel Carrillo and Gilbert Tafoya, committed the murders. But he says the jury's decision was not a surprise.
They expected him to at least try and stop them from doing what they were doing. I think that's the message that the jury sent with this verdict.
Now both sides are preparing for sentencing. Each second-degree murder charge can mean up to 15 years behind bars for Rios.
I expect the judge to evaluate his lack of any criminal history. He's never been arrested.
We're going to ask for every minute we can get.
Family of the victims walked out of the courthouse today, choosing not to say anything about the verdict. It will likely be at least 2 months until Rios is sentenced. Back to you.
All right, Lizzie, thank you. Police say 2 other teens took part in the murders. Gilbert Tafoya admitted he is guilty as part of a plea deal. Nathaniel Carrillo will be tried next year. So did Rios deserve to be convicted? We asked people in Albuquerque if they thought that justice was served.
Yeah. There's consequences for every action that you make, and it shows them that there will be consequences if they try and go out and do something like that.
It's going to come down to a lenient judge. As far as justice, that's the system we all are under.
Most people we spoke to said they think what Rios did was wrong, but that he was caught up in the moment and was not thinking about what would happen next.
You're so against the system at times that those don't really come into your mind.
You know, when he was doing the crime, I don't think he was thinking about that.
You can read about the full details of the trial on our KRQE app.